Hi. Okay, so it is June 2nd, and my step count as of right now at 8:23 is 10,486. So today I want to talk about a dream I had recently and what occurred that same day. So I want to say the day before yesterday, I was contemplating reaching out to an old friend just to check up, check in, and say hello. But this door has been closed for several months now, no contact to or from. And so I was wondering if I really should initiate anything. So because I was questioning it, I said, well, let me just sleep on it. And if I still feel the same way the next day, I'll reach out or whatnot. So I had a dream that night. And in the dream, I had to go visit my old high school, and I remember arriving to the school and it looked the exact same, like the exact same. But once I got inside and I was looking for the nursing office, and it wasn't where I remembered it. And then I walked through another set of doors to the back of the school, and everything looked completely different. And I remember that I was looking for the nursing office. I found it. And I remember looking across this field and I saw this person that I recognized from behind. And I recognized as an old friend that I hadn't seen in some years. And in that moment, seeing that person, I was like, wow, it was really good to see them, and they look well, they look healthy. It was nice to know that they were, still alive and kicking essentially because there was no contact. So I move on from looking at this person. I continue to look around the school, looking at all the changes and everything. And then when I turn around, this person spots me, and in excitement comes across the room to meet up with me. And my my immediate reaction was to turn around and run the opposite way, and I ran until I woke up. That was literally the dream. And so I felt like, in a sense, that was confirmation to leave the past right where it is, to um, leave the doors that have been shut, leave them closed. Do not open them back up. And that takes me back to another time when I did peek through a certain door into my past, belonging to, a friendship or an acquaintance, and immediately was shown why the door was initially closed. So I mean, it doesn't take much for me to feel like something is confirmation. And the fact that I was contemplating that in the beginning of that day of reaching out to someone, and only to have that dream that night, felt like confirmation. And you just have to leave well enough alone. And I mean, and it doesn't matter necessarily, at least not for me, because sometimes situations and friendships and relationships, all the ships you can have, they don't always have to end on a sour note. Sometimes things just fizzle. Sometimes we just grow apart. We're growing in different directions. I mean, it happens, and a lot of times it does not have to have an explanation. A lot of times you will not get that closure, and you have to learn to be okay with that. And that is just something that I have to tell myself when moments like that creep up. And thankfully, they really don't creep up that often, because one thing solitude has really taught me is that I can be more than okay in my own company. Now, when this whole thing like really started and the doors were closing left and right, it did feel lonely, it did feel scary, and all of those things. It did. And that was just something you have to continue to grow through. Because another thing that I've learned is that holding on to certain things will keep you stagnant in certain places of your life. You cannot grow and still hold on to things, people, situations that are meant to, fade into your background. And even if you have to keep telling yourself that, sometimes not even sometimes, you are going to elevate in life if you're open to it. Elevate, but you cannot prosper in some ways trying to bring forth things, people, and situations that are not meant to grow and evolve with you. And that was something I had to learn. And then another thing is like when those doors close and you look at all of the good that comes into your life, all of the blessings you're able to see, all of the goodness that pours in, and having that realization that certain things had to fade in order for new things to be planted and grow. And so I don't take those things for granted, messages and clarification, because I feel like I always ask, and like prayer is for clarity over all things, because I am a overthinker, a recovering overthinker, and I can typically dig in and fall into holes of over processing. So I have learned to when you ask these certain questions to the universe, to provide answers to certain questions, or just to give you clarity, or you ask for guidance, just me, I believe you do get those answers and you do get those resources, but you also have to be open to receiving them for what they are, because a lot of times you can seek clarity on something and the answer is given, but if you overanalyze it, you overthink it, you dissect it, then you trick yourself out of thinking that maybe that's not what this what it's supposed to be, or you start questioning yourself. And I don't want to question myself anymore. I felt like that happened in the order that it should have, and the fact that it happened within the same 24 hours was more than enough clarity for me to say, okay, I will just continue to leave that alone. I will continue to leave that alone. And you move on. Like, I don't have to question myself about it. I don't have to, go back and wonder if that was, the correct answer, or if that was what I was really supposed to do. That's what it is. And I move on, and I don't feel no type of way or anything like that. I love the people that are in my life. I love the people that are no longer in my life. I have no ill will towards anyone, but again, like, I'm on this journey and I'm allowing it to take me where it needs to take me, and for the changes that I'm not even ready for to still happen, because again, I've arrived at a place that I've never gotten to experience before. I've never experienced happiness like this. I've never had like so much light within me ever. And in order for me to get here, some things had to part ways, and I'm more than okay with that. I'm happy now. Like, I can truly say that and mean it. So till next time.